Hi, I'm Mike Zaida, and today's presentation is about a trip I took to Shanghai in August of 2018. It's just a week-long trip, and I was there to go do some consulting with Giant Games, which is a company underneath Giant Network. So I'm going to bring up my slides and share those with you. Share, and here we go. Got to hit play. All right. I've got a lot of really nice pictures here. So, Shanghai is a very beautiful city. This is probably its most famous building is the Oriental Pearl TV Tower. And it's something you can see both at day and at night. All right. So, 9th of August, 2018, I fly to Guangzhou and then catch another plane to Xi'an, and I'm flying in United. And it says Polaris, which is pretty good service. And you can see me flying over the ocean, heading towards PVG, which is Pudong, the airport in Pudong, which is on the other side of the river from Shanghai. So first got to go to Guangzhou. This trip, I stayed in Hotel Indigo, the Hotel Indigo, which is Shanghai on the Bund. And the Bund is a waterfront area and protected historical district in Shanghai. It's quite beautiful, fun place. If you want to go clubbing, this is the place. There's a different picture at night. Here's a picture of what the building is. I mean, it's just a big rectangle for the most part. And here's my room at that hotel. It's pretty cool. Nothing super special, but pretty nice. Usually when it has a bathtub that looks like that, you're at Ritz-Carlton level service. So that's pretty good. Here we are. I don't know. I always take pictures of these weird safety signs inside of elevators. Opening door by hand is not permitted. No leaning, no playing. It looks like they're dancing or something. And don't push with a hard and sharp objects. Okay. On this one, I have no idea. All right. So if you look out the window, you kind of can see what's going on outside. This is the lobby. It's very artistic. And this is the hotel buttons. And I like this one. The middle one says Chinese restaurant and then karaoke and health center. So I think that's great. Karaoke and health center definitely go together. In my room is a banana and an apple and a cheese slicer. I guess you do something with the cheese slicer. And here is the lobby. This is Angie Wu. She is my interpreter for this trip. She's going to interpret my presentation when I get to Giant Games. Here we are. You can, if you go and have a nice lunch there, you can get wonderful sashimi, and in that restaurant is a koi pond, basically, which is very cool. So you can eat your lunch with very relaxing koi pond right next to you. So if you go onto the Bund at night, it's basically, this is the place where everyone goes and where it's happening. And the buildings look very old, British and Germanic style along the Bund. They're kind of cool. You see a lot of people. You can see across the river, the Pudong River, to the Oriental Pearl TV Tower and other buildings as well. You can see the old customs house there. And on this trip, we ended up going to Bund 18, which is a members only club at the top. And there's some other things you could go to in this same elevator. You can go to Hakkasan, which is a wonderful restaurant also as well. It's a chain. There's one in San Francisco I've been to. I did not go to this one in Shanghai, but it's wonderful food. And when you are up there, this is what the bar looks like. It's awesome. And I decided to have drinks. And they have an outdoor balcony that you can go out and drink. And you can see right across the river. And it's just beautiful. All of these buildings are lit up. They have artistic lighting. They have videos that play on the sides of buildings and animations. It's very cool town, Shanghai. And if you look down on the ground, you can see all of the people that are out there having a good night and having a wonderful experience visiting the Bund. Or you can get on a boat. You can see a boat on the couple lighted boats on the right, and you can go out for an hour and a half and go visit and see all of the lit up, but all of the lit up buildings very close up. Anyway, I got to take one of those boats, so you'll see some of those pictures here, and I think I have some video, and I've got to make sure I play the video. I think they'll play automatically in Keynote here. Took a little bit closer. It's a little blurry. Lots of people, as you can see. Lots of people. And here you are closer up to some of these buildings. It's just a gorgeous town. You know, when people say, I don't want to go to China, I'm like, China's beautiful. It's kind of like Times Square times 10 in Shanghai. So it's quite gorgeous. All right. Of course, police presence. You have to be if everyone is out drinking in this kind of neighborhood. Oh, yes. This is, I always put, when I see something like this, I put it in my slide deck because it goes, we invite you to join the movement of environmental protection. Please don't place this card on your bed if you feel that you would like to use your bedding again. So this is, sort of one of those double negatives. Don't put this card on your bed. And that would mean you want to use your bedding again? Okay. You also notice it says Fu Yue Hotel. All of the hotel chains in China, like Hotel Indigo, which is where I'm staying, have also a Chinese name, which is the original name before they became part of the Indigo hotel chain. All right, so I'm going to go and do some consulting for Giant Games, and Giant Network is the home of Giant Games, and it's in West Shanghai. If you are staying at the Indigo Hotel and you get into a car and someone drives you to Giant Games, it's an hour and a half. It's a long drive. And there's the address for it if you care. Giant Games has a really interesting building. It's built in the shape of a dragon. And although it's built in the shape of this dragon and it's quite cool, there's very few places where you can actually take a picture that shows that it is a dragon. The architect is Tom Main of Morphosis Architects. He designed the Giant Interactive Group campus in Shanghai, and the campus includes their headquarters, which is the Dragon Building. It has an extension set of offices. It has housing for its employees, a hotel, and a training center and a clubhouse. So, by the way, if you are in China and you have a really, really big company, it is pretty common, I think it might be a requirement, that you have housing for your employees. Of course, that means if you lose your job, you lose your housing, and that's a really bad day. So anyway, I took this off of the Morphosis website, which shows here's what that building looks like, and it sits on a piece of land that's in the middle of a pond. It's kind of cool. Here they gave me a card that lets me get into places, and it's my badge for the conference. And you can see me on the schedule here to give a presentation later. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing during the day is I'm going to be reviewing games built by their interns. And their interns have spent some part of the summer trying to build games in teams, and they need to be judged. So I'm part of that judging, and they win prizes at the end of that contest. At the later part of the day, what you'll see is I'm going to give a talk. They asked me, could I please give a talk about gameplay design? And so I've got, I think, a 90-minute talk that I give on gameplay design to this group. Okay, and this is one of my favorite signs that you find in their bathroom in this building. No standing on the toilet, which, is kind of funny because you and I know how to use this because we live in the United States and this is the kind of toilet you see. In China, they mostly have the slit in the ground toilets, and you have to sort of squat on them. And if you've never used a Western toilet, then they don't want you standing on the Western toilet that they bought. All right, so that you know. All right, so this building is pretty spectacular. I don't think it's very efficient with respect to space. It's kind of cool. Here's that team. Here's one of the teams that's got a music game, and they have won uh, part of this contest. Here is another team that's got a game they let me play. So I had to go and play their games and make some writing on a sheet of paper to remember which game was going to win. And then they announce which team won. So this is the group of interns. I think they have like 100 or so interns for this period of time. And here is where we're giving off the awards to the winners of this contest. And they receive money, so you can see that. They received, I think, 2,000 renminbi. All right, very cool. So when you go walking around Giant Games, what you see is you'll see that they've taken some of the characters from their most famous games. They've turned them into big 3D objects that grace the halls and the exterior of their facility, which is sort of expected in the game industry. I tried to take a picture of where can I get the dragon head. This is like, I think, the dragon head. It's over the water. And here's the CEO's office. I actually probably in my very first talk on YouTube, the 2015 talk on going to China, I went to Shanghai and had dinner with the CEO, a woman CEO, and I forget her name at the time. I don't know if she's still the CEO, but she has this wonderful office and it has glass floors. So you're in the office and I'm trying to have 1 foot. I'm thinking about stepping on that glass, but I don't want to fall into the water down below or through the glass. And in fact, when I talked to some of the employees who were giving me the tour, they said, well, we believe she actually has a trap door on some of the glass that if they no longer need you, you come in and you talk to her and they open the trap door and you drop into the lake down below. So here I am. And I was kind of worried. I said, how heavy can a person be and be on this glass? And they said, well, we had that very big Chinese basketball player come, Yao Ming. And we had him stand on it, and he was okay. So you're going to be just fine. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Here's another little part of it that goes out into the lake, but it has a solid floor, which is maybe a little bit better. I think this is in the dragon's head. And you look down, it's got another little walkway you can get out. It's a very cool building. Very, very good. Very extravagant, but it is not very efficient in space. So I have these walkways that are, wow, it looks kind of cool. And you'll see some other things here that are fun. Lots of sculpture is built into the building. And the architect for this, Tom, he got his architecture degree from USC, if you want to know. And here is, again, some of this, let's put a sign red on red, but we'll make it 3D so you can read it. All right. And they have a swimming pool. This is a cool pool. You got a pool. It's not rectangular in any way, shape, or form. It's got a hot tub on the left. And so it's just absolutely gorgeous if you look at this. This is like, if you work here, you never want to go home. You want to live here. Well, you probably do. They have space outside for you to live in. It's kind of cool. Little bridges over everywhere. It's quite spectacular. And of course, you can play foosball if you wish. And I'm not quite sure this sculpture on the wall it's all red. Somebody is really into red or orange. And it's okay. It's art. And they have a gym, of course. And here we are with the giant network sign. So I think this is the head of the dragon that we were looking at. We were in on the other side. And if you look down on it, you'll see it's there. It's kind of cool. And again, we're in a room with some of the 3D objects that have been turned into real plastic objects from their games. And I think this is one of their Battle of Balls is one of their most famous games. And then you can actually sit down here and they've got balls that you can throw at other people while you were sitting there. Again, this is all commemorating their game, Battle of Balls. And they have lots of them stuck together. And these are two of the guys who worked on that game. So again, more looks at this. This is not near the Boon. It's not near the fun part of Shanghai. This is near, this is like the office park district of Shanghai. Beautiful upper stories. Here's where I'm going to give my talk. And that was where I did give my talk. So and right now I'm back on the Boon, back into Hotel Indigo, looking out the window, I think from the coffee shop restaurant. And the Boon has a lot of ships, a lot of transport. I think looks like an oil tanker of some sort out there, very small one. And then there are a bunch of tour boats that you can get on and have food and see the lights set in the evenings. So it's kind of cool. So this is just absolutely beautiful. So if you think about it, we're looking across to the Pudong side, which is the big building side of Shanghai, and the airport is behind that. All right. So this is the breakfast is this way. It's the restaurant in Hotel Indigo, and you can sit there and watch all the cool things happen. Now, the hotel has this sign, which I think is kind of cool, and it's got some ideas for tours. You have a one-day escape tour, which is need to see a water town, an ancient garden, city temple. Your host can organize a private or group one-day or half-day tour. A tour for those that dare. Explore Shanghai on a vintage sidecar motorbike. This sounds kind of fun. You will experience the pulse of this ever-changing city and see the fusion of the old and the new, the traditional and the innovative, and all of the other contrasts and contradictions of Shanghai. A great adventure. Ask your host for details. An art tour, which is within the past decade, contemporary Chinese art has exploded onto the global arena. Why not introduce yourself to some of the fantastic galleries and exhibitions Shanghai to has to offer? You never know. You may discover the next AI Ai Weiwei or Zhang Biao. Ask your host for the Indigo Art Tour selection. So there's some interesting tours that you can get to. It's not your usual get on a bus and go half day and see everything in the city in 20-minute segments. All right. If you're sitting out there having breakfast, you will see this sculpture looking out the window again across at the Oriental Pearl TV Tower. You can see what breakfast looks like. This is kind of cool. It's got a chicken made of rice with a fried egg on top and some bacon on skewers and some cucumber and tomato and some ginger and some edamame, I believe, and some coffee, of course. This is my hotel room. I mean, it looks pretty spectacular. Definitely Ritz-Carlton level. And this is my favorite piece of art there, which is called the Keyboard of Isolation. Go online and family is isolated. What you see is 36 real-life families isolated in 115 keys. In reality, there are many more isolated families. With 500 million netizens in China, many are unaware of how being online can alienate their family members. This installation features 115 9-centimeter tall human figurines crafted in the likenesses of 36 real-life families, each isolated in various glass jars arranged in the form of a keyboard. Through this installation, we encourage everyone to spend less online time and more family time. Obviously, they're not talking to Generation Z, but this is probably someone older than that who did this piece of art. All right, this is a mailbox, just in case. Where do I do mail? I put it in these really cool, looks like, I don't know, fire hydrants, oversized fire hydrants or something like that. And of course, they've got rickshaws in the lobby to show you that here's what we used to do a long time ago, and we don't necessarily do that now, and some other interesting art. So, sir, I think some of my last pictures here. Let's see. Oh, Boon, back in the Boon, you've got a bowling alley, of course. And this boat, I went on the tour of this boat at night, and it's kind of cool. It just looks crazy, though. All right, here we are. There's some crazy stuff here. And I think I have a couple of videos somewhere embedded here. I hope they self-play. Police have their own place down there. Any place where there's that many clubs and that much alcohol and that many people, you got to have police. And this building is gold. I look at that and say, this is a gold building, or it looks gold. It's pretty darn crazy. So they have taken and made great architecture in the Bund part of Shanghai. And I had to take pictures of this. This is socialist core values. And I put these up here. It looks like they're behind police bars. And I just thought, I didn't actually take any time to read what this says, but it's kind of, what is this? You know, kind of cool. And you're saluting the flag here. And over here, I'm not quite sure what you're doing. And again, you're saluting the flag. So you'll see this kind of stuff as you walk around China, and it's cool. It's part of their culture. Okay, this is my favorite picture almost of a night picture of the Bund. It's very cool. Again, it looks very, very beautiful. So what you'll see on some of these buildings on the left is you'll see that they have Chinese characters going up and down, and it's very animated, this downtown section. All right. I'm at the Char Bar, which is a steakhouse and bar. And I don't know what the fish are about, but that probably means they also have fish. And my friend Sue June came to visit me in Shanghai. She was there on a film shoot she's on. And we had dinner at the Char Bar and Grill, which is kind of cool. Here we are again. Gets foggy and you can't see the top of these buildings. Again, here's an example of one of those buildings with some big signage on the side. And let's see, this isn't the video on? No, I haven't got to the video on. Maybe I didn't put the video on in. Oh, this is cool. I went on this boat. It's the Xi'an Zhang 5. And it's very cool. So very beautiful. So if you get a chance, go to Shanghai. Oh, here we go. This is just a little bit of video. Unfortunately, it was kind of like misting when I took this. You can see it very active and exciting. Thanks. And this is my bed. I think I'm about to go to sleep and my trip is just about over. And I didn't know. I thought this was cool. What is this? I have no idea, but we have Chairman Mao and some of the CCP all excited in figurines. And again, this is in the day. It's beautiful also. So take pictures in day and night and spend a couple days around the Bund. And you're in China. You've got the Chinese flag, which is, again, very cool. This is the time I was in China, was also the time when China was freezing game approvals amid their agency shakeup. And Halt has shook all of the game companies for over a year. So this was a very big deal and happened basically as I was in Shanghai talking to Giant Games. And here I am packing up to head home, straps to hold the suitcase together because it's overstuffed with souvenirs. And I have another trip to Shanghai that's right after this. In fact, it's actually in multiple cities. I think I'm in Xi'an, I'm in Nanjing, I'm in Lintong, and then I'm in Shanghai. And I will do that as one of my next talks. And I'm on my way back to the airport, flying back to the United States. And this is a wonderful place to visit. Shanghai is just completely awesome. It's modern. It's a great fun place to go. So I highly encourage you to go. I want to thank Qingyun Ma, Su Jun, and anyone who took me to these great places in China, especially the people at Giant Networks and Giant Games that gave me a consulting contract to bring me over and have a great time. Anyway, that's the end of the talk. This is how you can get to me if you wish. And I'm going to stop there and stop sharing my screens and say, have a great New Year's. This is New Year's Day. And I just had put these slides together last night at the last minute thought. So I thought I should get these out now. Anyway, it's been wonderful. We'll talk to you later.